Detective Castellanos?
Was that someone else's memories?
Alright my friends, welcome back to my walkthrough for The Evil Within. This is chapter number 9 and it's being played on AKUMU Difficulty, as you know. In this chapter there are 11 collectibles for us to obtain, as well as 5 keys, so there's quite a lot of things to collect during this chapter, but we'll find them all. Let's just approach this cell and peek through it.
Please refrain from agitating the others.
I always found that the way that Tatiana sneaks up on Sebastian like that is really creepy.
Memories are vague things indeed. It can be easy at times for memories to be distorted by others. That is why they must be cherished.
Well, let's peek through that small hole and see what happens. Yeah, Ruvik might be scary and all, but I swear Tatiana can be more creepy than him at times. And now that that scene has played out, we can pick up the first collectible. You'll notice that it wasn't there before, so you can only pick it up after that scene plays out. And as you guys know, I always leave an annotation on my videos, so that if you want to find a specific collectible or key, you can just press on that annotation and you'll be redirected to the part of the video where I gain said item and so on. But I know that a lot of you are watching these videos on your phones, and that as such you won't be able to view the annotations, but if you are looking for the collectibles, then just click on the description of the video and I have a timeline where I show you the location of all the collectibles. All that you need to do is press on the timeline and you'll find all the collectibles in order. So if you're looking for a specific collectible and you're watching on your phones, you can do that instead. And that way, if you for some reason don't feel like watching everything until the end, you can just find what you're looking for and then be on your way. But anyway, let's move on now towards the creepy mansion. I get a Spencer mansion vibe from this house, I really do.
That house somewhere.
And
never been here
as we
before,
step through the gate, we're going to pick up the first key in this chapter. I tell you, there are so many collectibles in this chapter, but it's right there. Just shoot it with your handgun, or there's plenty of bottles inside the mansion that you can pick up and throw it if you don't feel like wasting a bullet, but you really don't need it because there's handgun ammunition for you to pick up here. And there's also an explosive bolt which we're going to get as well, and a little bit more green gel and ammunition. So they're very easy to miss because you wouldn't normally think of coming to this area. You'd normally just head inside the mansion and not explore your surroundings. At least I think that's what would happen, but nonetheless make sure you go there and pick up any ammunition that you can. And now we can head inside the mansion.
Hey! Stop, damn it!
Now, as you know, when
Now what?
you're inside the mansion, Ruvik likes to appear every once in a while and he will chase Sebastian around, and if Ruvik manages to get too close to Sebastian, he will kill him. If Ruvik touches Sebastian in any way, he will kill him. Actually, you can even be climbing a ladder and so on, and Ruvik, he can point his hand at you and you will automatically die, which can be very frustrating, no doubt. But you actually don't need to hide from Ruvik. You see, he appears randomly, but it's after a certain time. So depending on how fast you do this, he will appear in different sections of the mansion, but if you're fast enough, he will only appear twice, and you can kind of program the places where he appears, and you won't even need
What
to
do we have here?
hide from him because you can just dodge him. Now this is very important. We need to input this pin on that brain. I really think it's a little bit creepy, but there's a hole on the brain, as you saw, and that's where you need to insert that pin.
Great. What did I just set in motion?
Is this, what did you call it, your inner sanctum? A research lab of your own. I am most impressed.
Why are you back? I didn't give you permission.
Come now, we're both men of science. Men of science are dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge. You can show me your experiments. I can show you things.
You wouldn't like them. You'd think they're gross.
In science, one must do any number of things a layperson may find disgusting. I've done many things others would consider distasteful.
You think I'm some kind of a monster.
You concern yourself so much with your appearance. But that mind of yours, that's all that matters.
Man, Jimenez really took advantage of Ruvik, didn't he? He was actually not that bright himself. I mean, I guess he was bright enough that he understood how STEM would work and so on, but he took all the glory while Ruvik did all the work, even if it's really creepy work. Remember that guy, that haunted who enters the door, he will always do that. And now, my friends, Ruvik will be appearing any moment now, I'm sure of it. So we're just going to wait here. Yep, here he comes. So you can actually time his appearance after you insert that first pin. He will always appear fairly after that. If you want to hide, you can. In the living room or in the dining room, actually, you can hide underneath the table and wait, and eventually he will appear and disappear, and you can keep on going. But as you can see, this hall is pretty big, and we're just playing, I guess, Ring Around the Roses with Ruvik here. He won't be able to touch you as long as you keep going around in circles. He will just keep following you. You do need to be careful though, because if for some reason, as you know, the camera angles in The Evil Within really aren't very good. So sometimes you might run against the wall, and if you run against the wall, you're probably going to die. But in a huge hall like that, you have plenty of space to keep running in circles. And as long as you keep Ruvik behind you, and you can start running a little bit faster if you feel that he's getting too close. But if you do that, then you really don't have anything to worry about. And that strategy works pretty well. And that way you won't have to waste time hiding from Ruvik, because, like I said, you can just run around in circles and the guy will just keep following you like a lost puppy, I guess. I suppose Ruvik doesn't seem that bad when you think about it. So, at least based on this scene. So that's a strategy that you can use, and I think it works pretty well. I've tried it a few times and it seems to always work. This guy will immediately get up as you approach him, especially on AKUMU difficulty. He moves very fast, so don't even hesitate. Just use a shotgun bullet to take him down and then burn him. There are 2 shotgun bullets on the floor below in the library, so you really aren't wasting any ammunition because you can just pick up the bullets. And now guys, for the time bombs, I'm not quite sure if I'll bother disarming any more time bombs because I've got plenty of parts at this time. And to be fair, since I'm already almost halfway through with the chapter, not quite, but halfway, then I really don't want to risk disarming a few more bombs. It's possible for you to do so, and I probably could do it, but I swear every time I disarm a time bomb, my heart, it feels like it's going to be squeezed, because your timing really has to be perfect. So I would only get the time bomb that you really need, and I wouldn't worry about the rest. There are 2 haunted who enter that room, but it takes them a while to get inside the room, so you can actually leave and keep going before they do anything. But if you really want, you can just kill the first haunted with your axe and then shoot the other one with your shotgun and then burn him, and that way they really won't cause any problems. But if you move fast enough, then they really can't even get to you. Here's another statue with a key, so this is key number 3, and now we're going to keep going. Actually, that's key number 4, sorry about that. That's key number 4, we only have 1 more key to collect.
Again.
And now we have to insert another pin, and this one can be a little bit tricky. As you can see, the brain is completely messed up. But see where I'm pointing the light? There's a line here. You need to insert it just above the line, and if you do so, then you'll put the pin in the right place. So if you need any extra guidance, by now I've memorized where you put the pins, but there's a paper on the side where you can look at it, and that way you also know where you need to insert the pins.
Oh, Father, if you only knew how satisfying that look on your face is. Did you actually think if you locked me away, I would just cease to exist? Out of sight, out of mind. You did. You did, didn't you? Oh, you were never out of my mind. I hope you're proud of yourselves.
And Ruvik sure is creepy, and he murdered his own parents. But then again, what can you expect from a guy who does what he does, really? But anyway, we're going to get another collectible now. And then we're going back to the safe room so that we can get the last few collectibles and open a few lockers and do a few upgrades. Here's the audio tape. Be very careful with that guy. You have to sneak close to him and then shoot and then burn him, sorry. And if you do that, then you won't get up in time. And now I can burn this guy as well. What I was actually trying to do here, I wanted to shoot this guy with the shotgun and throw him against the wall. And then there's a time bomb on the wall, and I would have shot that to finish him off. But I guess shooting him once with the shotgun and then using a match also works very well. And here comes Ruvik again. I expected this to happen sooner or later. Like I said, it's all about timing really, but again we're in the perfect place to dodge him. All that we need to do is keep running around in circles. I know it seems that sometimes he's walking very fast, but just run a little bit faster and you'll be fine. Tag, you're not it, dude. But yeah, Ruvik actually seems kind of silly when you can just like run around in circles with him and dodge him. But I guarantee you, my friends, this will work. But you have to be in an area with quite a lot of space, like the 2 halls where I encountered him. Because if you're in a tight corridor, you can only run in one direction and hope that Ruvik disappears sooner or later. Because if he gets in front of you and you're running down a corridor, then most likely you will die. But like I said, if you follow my walkthrough, I can guarantee that Ruvik will appear always around this time. So you can kind of prepare yourself for that. And let me put another shell on my shotgun so that I can collect an extra one. I really don't feel like breaking these crates. Maybe there was some green gel inside them, but it doesn't really matter. And most importantly, I don't want to touch that time bomb. Again, I'm just playing it safe. Now we collected both dials, and here is another file to insert on this safe. So we have to put the top and bottom dials here, and the combination is 11-2. So on the top dial you input the number 11, you leave it on the number 11, and on the bottom dial you put the number 2, and that will give us access to the last brain. Yes, the last brain, you heard it correctly. But like I said, we have to do this. The creepiest part is that all of these people were alive while Ruvik was experimenting on them. And see this area? That's where you need to insert it. There we go. So if you put the pin right there, then you won't take any damage and die. Remember that on AKUMU Difficulty, and if you're playing AKUMU Difficulty, obviously you know this, but Sebastian will die with a single hit.
The hospital has not received the family's usual donation this year.
And why would they? Has the hospital been doing anything worthy of donation?
The Victoriano family has always been a generous contributor. Where are your parents?
They have gone away.
When do you expect them?
Is there something you wish to discuss, Doctor?
I came to inform you that the hospital will no longer be able to provide you with assistance. Materials. Your research will very quickly disintegrate.
How dare you come into my home and threaten me?
So yeah, Jimenez and Ruvik had a fallout. As we know, Jimenez betrays Ruvik by now. It's all explained in the DLC episodes. It's a shame that they didn't bother explaining that on the main story of the game, but oh well. So we're going to get 3 more collectibles now. First it's this journal. And do be careful guys, because back in the dining room there are going to be 2 haunted there. I don't think they appear on the easier difficulties, but they do appear on AKUMU, and maybe Nightmare as well. They might appear on Nightmare as well. But do be careful, it's a fat haunted and another haunted with a mask. But like I said, you can just get inside the safe room and you'll be fine. So here is collectible number 10, Ruben's missing person poster. And now what I'm going to do is open a few locks, and I'm going to hopefully get a little bit of green gel. There is a trick that you can use, by the way. Let's say you want to get green gel and you don't want anything else, or you want a specific type of ammunition. You can save your game before you come and use the keys, and if you don't get what you want, then you can just reload, go back to your previous save, and then just keep doing that until you get the green gel that you want or whatever you want to collect. That's a strategy that I think will come in handy if you're looking to upgrade Sebastian, or if you're lacking a certain type of ammunition. And I really didn't need to pick up those flash bolts. I shouldn't have done it, because there's going to be another flash bolt later on that I could pick up, but oh well, it doesn't really matter. Like I said, I have plenty of parts, so it's not a big deal. Sniper rifle bullets. I'm going to get 2 sniper rifle bullets later on, but oh well, let's pick some up. Like I said, I have plenty of ammunition to last me until the end of the game. And a little bit more green gel, I do want that. And I have enough green gel to do the upgrades that I want, so I'm actually not going to open the last 2 lockers for now. I'm going to keep these 2 keys. There's still an extra key for us to collect in this chapter, so for now I have enough green gel to do all the upgrades that I need. So the first thing that we're going to do here is maximize Sebastian's running time. To be honest, he's still very slow, or actually he's not very slow, he just has 0 stamina. Sebastian, I like to compare him to my grandma, and even then my grandma's 93 and she runs faster and she can run for longer than Sebastian. If there was a race between Sebastian and a bunch of old ladies, Sebastian would finish last, because he can't run for more like than 10 seconds at best. I'm going to save my game here. I recommend that you do the same, just in case for some reason things don't go your way. The next part can be a little bit tricky, because there's going to be a bunch of bear traps further on that can make our life a little bit harder, but aside from that it's not too bad. Again, if you have a strategy, then you won't have any problems. See, those are the two haunted that I was talking about, but you can go in there and mock them and then just run through here and they won't be able to follow you because the door behind you will close. So, oh, here comes Ruvik. I'm gonna punch you, sucker. No, I guess I missed my punch.
All the way.
I don't know why, but I always feel the need to try and punch him when he comes running at Sebastian like that.
Peel.
It never works. It would be funny if it did.
Ruvik?
And now we're going to head down. And we just have to keep following young Ruben. Creepy little fellow, if I do say so myself. And head inside this room to trigger the next sequence of events. And this section, like I said, can be a little bit tricky, but hopefully we can get it done in the first attempt and move on to the next chapter. So as soon as this happens, there's a green gel bottle for us to pick up in the corner over there. If you don't want to risk it, don't pick it up. It's fine if you don't, but you have enough time to do so. Remember, however, that if those red thingies get on you, Sebastian will automatically die. Okay, so we need to move fast here. Oh, I thought there was a shock bolt on that table, but I guess not. Oh well, let's move out because I don't have a lot of time to do this. You can disarm the bear traps for additional parts. There's a few bolts for us to pick up here. I don't need the harpoon bolt though. I really don't use it all that much. And there's another bear trap here. Disarm it as well. And do be careful not to touch the wires, otherwise you'll be in trouble. And the ceiling is getting awfully close. I shouldn't have went to check that table, but I have enough time still. So there we go. As soon as you pass that area, you can start running. And now we're going to keep moving down. And this is the hard part of this section. The doors start falling down and you get trapped inside. Be careful, there's a bear trap right there in the floor, so make sure you dodge that one. And there's a time bomb here, which don't worry too much about it. If you move fast enough you can dodge it, but as soon as that thing appears you need to dodge it to the side, otherwise you will be caught and die. And now be careful here, there's that trap, but we are in the clear. So the boss here moves faster than he did on easier difficulties, but aside from that he's not too bad. And here we have the last collectible. Actually it's the last collectible, but there's still a key for us to obtain, so we'll get that in a little bit. Let's just head through this door. Okay, so now we're going to keep moving on ahead, and I'm pretty sure by now we all know what's going to happen next, and it's not pretty, that's for sure. But before we head inside the barn, there's a few more things for us to pick up. A little bit of ammunition, a few bolts, they always come in handy. There's a reason why the game gives you that shock bolt, by the way. It's because it comes in handy for this section. So make sure you get that one. And there's also 2 sniper rifle bullets there. And see, there was a flash bolt there as well. but since I collected the ones in the locker room, I don't need them.
I know you're in here. I can hear you breathing.
Rich bastards. Think they can buy up all our land.
They need to be shown who really owns these parts.
Hey, I think there's kids in there.
I didn't hear anything. What the?
Somebody, open the door! Reuben! Reuben, you have to climb!
Man, those villagers sure were bastards doing that to two children. And yes, Ruvik was insane, but poor Laura, I don't think she did anything wrong here. And to be fair, they just did this because they were pissed that Ruvik's father took their land. Well, no wonder Ruvik wants revenge. And I don't know if you guys noticed this, but if you watch my survival difficulty walkthrough, which was made just as soon as the game got released, one of the villagers' hair was all messed up in that original version. They apparently fixed it up with some sort of patch, but that guy's hair, it looked freaky on when the game first came out. It was actually pretty funny, but they did correct it. And we're going to burn this stack of hay so that we can collect the last statue here, or actually the last key inside the statue. Make sure you have your shock bolts prepared, and now all that you need to do is try and get out. All that we need to do here is make sure we shoot the haunted before they get too close. Use your shotgun, you should have more than enough ammunition to do so. Kill the first 4, and once they're on the ground, change to your shock bolts, fire it, and now that they're all electrocuted, throw a match, and that will take care of all of them. Then immediately dodge to the side so that you can escape that monster. And that takes care of that boss fight. Okay, so that pretty much concludes this chapter. We just have to listen to Ruvik's parents talking now, and as you saw, if you use that strategy with the shock bolt, then you won't have any problems during that section. It's just very important that after you fire the shock bolt and burn the haunted, you dodge to the side, to your left side, because the monster will keep moving forward, and if it touches you, you're going to die. But aside from that, you really have nothing to worry about. And like I said, this concludes this chapter. Apparently Ruvik's parents were hiding him in the basement. Oh well. And thank you so much for watching, my friends. I hope you found this chapter useful, and I will see you all later for the next part. Take care.